What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to give you 5 tips for a successful gig. Yes! And before we move to that, let me go ahead and remind you to subscribe to the channel. That's right. Hit that thumbs up. Yep. And again, I like it when you guys write down below. In our last post that I did, we had there was some good talk down below, which is really cool, about some additional things that you should avoid. Okay, and I think we're going to touch on that in my next video, but I wanted to make sure that I had this out and give you 5 tips for a successful gig. Okay, these are not hard and fast rules, but you know, I would say most of these, if you try to do them, it's going to set you up for success, and that's what I'm trying to do here, help you out. All right, so let's go ahead and get to it. Number 1, that is arrive 10 to 15 to even 20 minutes early. That way you can get all set up. Yes, absolutely. You know, and it also help you deal with, you'll be able to, you know, we talked about this in the other one with the mistakes. You'll be able to also deal with any kind of parking issues that you might have, or if you have to take stuff upstairs, you can remedy all that by getting there early. I think that's a real professional way to be, and that's going to lead us into number 2. Number 2, this one goes hand in hand with the first one. You get there early. First thing you do when you get there, connect with the host. I would not recommend just going into the party and deciding where you're going to set up. You're going to connect with the host. If you have to, call them, but a lot of times you can just ask around and see, you know, who's in charge. You'll find out really quick who's hosting the event, and they'll set, you know, kind of direct you on where to get set up. It'll make everything easier if you go and connect with them. That way, if you haven't, you know, spoken to them in person, now they can put a face to the name and hopefully remember you, and you can make a great impression on them when you first meet them there, and just let them know that you're easygoing, you're going to be flexible on where to get set up. Yeah, absolutely. So that's what I would do next after you arrive early, is connect that host so you can, you know, be directed to the right place to help you get set up and, you know, getting ready to have a successful gig. Let's move on to the next one. Number 3, and that is the line / mob, you know, kind of situation you'll have around your table. I prefer the line, and I know other people don't mind the mob that's around them. That's what I would say. You could call them a group, a gathering, but I prefer the line. That way everybody knows where they're supposed to be. Makes it real simple to follow that order. And, you know, they could still gather around your table, but just have an understanding that, oh, this is the front of the line and it goes this way, you know? And so you can look at it a different way. But the only reason I'll defend myself here why I don't like the mob is because what will happen is people that, I feel like the little ones kind of get pushed. And so now you're stuck with this extra piece of management that you got to kind of, you know, take on, which is, you know, now I got to be on the lookout for the little ones that approach the tables. Who was here, who wasn't there. You got to remember that when you do that. And I think if you have a line, it's easier to tell, like, oh, you're next. And another situation I run to with the mob as well is parents will come up with little ones from the sides and be like, oh, well, obviously the baby's too small to stand in line. Is it okay if this little one, you know, gets a balloon ahead of everybody else, and everybody else is in line? You know, to me, I don't mind making a balloon for anybody there, but for the people that have been waiting all around there, they're not excited about that, and they'll end up becoming vocal when that happens. And so I'm not trying to break anybody's heart. You know, I'm trying to make one person happy, but in doing so, in the mob rule for me, in making one person happy, you're going to end up making, you know, 4 or 5 mad at the same time, possibly. Okay, depends on how you manage it. But when I have the line set up ready to go, I don't usually run into that issue. So that's my preference, line versus the mob. I choose the line to make it easier for me and everybody else, especially when it comes to managing them. Okay, alrighty, and so let's go ahead and talk about the next one. Oh, but before we do that, actually, I want to hear, you know, what do you think in that one? Because I feel like this one and the last tip that I'm going to talk about are going to be one of those that you know, we might mull over a little bit and maybe had some disagreement, but that's okay. You know, I just want to open up for conversation. Line versus the mob. You let me know in the comments down below. Okay. Alrighty. Number 4, I talked about this in the other one, avoiding some, you know, things to avoid. And this is a menu versus no menu. I do prefer a menu. That way we can kind of narrow down, you know, the choices just a little bit, just because you might run into that somebody is just thinking, man, I can't wait to stunt this balloon guy. And which is okay. I mean, it's fun to have a little challenge here every now and then, but you'll be able to decide that for yourself, depending on how long your line is. That's where you're going to make that decision for yourself. But I really feel like that is going to make you successful if you have some type of menu. And I would say picture menu versus word menu, because not everybody in our line reads. So that's definitely going to help you out. And what will happen is if you have a picture menu, they at least get a sense of some of the things you can make, because what happens is no menu, you end up repeating yourself multiple times, because they're going to ask you, what can you make? What do you make? So what do you make? A lot of times they won't come with something in mind. So keep that, just be aware of that's going to happen if you don't have, no menu versus a menu. And so that was number 4. Let's move on to our last one. And this is the big one. All right, number 5, the last one. How are you going to end your line? That's a big one. Okay, so first let's talk about the ideal scenario where you have booked a party and you know how many guests are going to be there, and you make it more or less around the time you're going to end, and everything's good to go. Hey, we'll see you next time. Here's your cash. Here's a tip. Yeah, everything's perfect, right? Now, the other side, the flip side, and that is there are a lot of people still waiting, and you starting to realize like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to make balloons for everybody in this line. How in the world are you going to end that line? And so I'm just going to share with you what I use. It works pretty darn good most of the time. The bonus would be is if you've worked out with the event host to get somebody, preferably from their staff, to cut off the line. The event's over at 8 o'clock. Well, guess what? We're not staying till 8:30 making balloons. The event, the whole event, not just you. Sometimes we get hung up about that we're the event. No, the whole event ended at 8 o'clock. It's time to go. The event hosts, they rented this place only till 8 o'clock. It's time to get out of this. So let me go back to what I was talking about. And that is cutting off the line. And that is what I like to do. If I know that the line is super long, what I will do is I will just tell the person I'm dealing with in line, wait right here. I'll be right back. Okay. And what I'm going to do at this point is I'm going to go down the side of my line, letting people know, hey, everybody look this way for a second and declare, I have 20 minutes left. I'm going to help as many people as I can. Okay. Thank you for your understanding. And you can even say the event is going to be over in 20 minutes or at this time, really spell it out. And it's going to mean you're going to repeat this again, actually. Okay. 20 minutes. Okay. I usually do 20 minutes. You could do 30, depends on how long this line is. So what happened is 2 things are happening. Okay. You're definitely making people aware. And then also, you in a sense are saving them time as well, because if they come up and they hear that, they'll start to realize that, well, golly, do I want to stand here with the chance of maybe getting a balloon based on how long he takes and, trying to gauge and see how many people are still in front of the line? Or am I going to go do something else? So they'll be able to prioritize a little bit, and they did that, or they will do that, because you made an announcement and, you just informed them, and it doesn't hurt to do that. It doesn't take but a few seconds to go around and make that announcement real quick. Okay, so I do that when 20 minutes out, I will do that. And then I will go back 10 minutes later now and let them know we have 10 minutes left. All right, we have 10 minutes left. I'm going to help as many people as I can. Thank you for understanding. And I go back to twisting. And now at this point, I won't have to, when it's 10 minutes out and I'm still saying, I can even do from 5 minutes. I can say, oh guys, I have 5 minutes left, announcing to the group that's now there within, not walking down the side of the line anymore. Now I'm just talking to the people just right here in this immediate area here. They can hear me. I have 5 minutes left. These people are not strange. That idea that time is running out is not strange to them anymore now. I've already talked to them 20 minutes out. I talked to them 10 minutes out. Now I'm saying 5 minutes out. We were almost done. They know. Okay. There was no coming in at the last moment. Oh man, I was waiting for the line to die down. Well, we've heard all the excuses, but it really does inform your audience, and it kind of feels like you're with them along the way, and they start to realize, oh, we didn't make it. Okay, we'll get them next time. That's what it is, and so these are my 5 tips that I offer to you. Let me know again. I talked about the line versus the mob in rule number 3, but also number 5. What is something I'd like to hear something that you talk about ending your line, because I know it never gets easier. Okay, and one addition to that, little bonus someone told me at a convention that works too is if you have your supplies out, it's a good idea to start to scoot them away, out of sight, out of mind. And sometimes you've just run out of supplies this time. Wink, wink. You know what I mean? And I'll catch you at the next event. All right. So, that's one way to approach it as well. Okay. So you can decide. I just want to give you a little something to chew on and think about, like, how am I going to end lines this summer as events, start to fill up and get busy, for some of you guys. All right. So, thank you guys very much for hanging out. Hopefully you appreciate these tips. Hopefully I didn't talk too much this time, but I do like a chance to be able to talk about, just some aspects of our business that aren't just twisting balloons, because that's one piece of it, but that's not all of it. And interacting with our groups and realizing how we manage, ourselves, how we approach the event, how we work during the event, but also how do we exit as well. So I thank you guys very much for hanging out with me. Again, if you like this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, the bell notification, hit that like, and again, comment down below. I'd love to hear what you guys are talking about. Give me your 2 cents about the menu. The line versus the mob, and then your line ending techniques. Alrighty, guys. I'll catch you guys next time. Happy twisting? Yeah, keep happy twisting. All right, guys. Take it easy. Bye now. Happy twisting.